Oh, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And we have a lot to unpack in this video. The New York Knicks came out victorious up against the Sacramento Kings last night, the final score being 98-91. And with that win on the road during this Western road trip, obviously beating the Portland Trailblazers first, then the Kings a couple wins in a row. The New York Knicks now have 40 wins on the season. We are 40-27. And let me know down below in the comment section, do you think we're going to finish with 50 wins? I believe we still have around 15 to 16 games to go during the season. We take on the Warriors next. We're definitely looking for some revenge. In my opinion, it was an embarrassing way we lost last time. Yes, we fought back, but just if you watch that game, how sloppy that was, definitely was not a pretty game at all. So I hope the New York Knicks come out firing on all cylinders, really just connecting out there on the floor. But when you take a look at this game, this has to be one of the most impressive wins of the season. You're playing a Sacramento Kings team that's averaging 118 points per game. You hold them to 91 points. You hold them to 35% shooting. They're pretty much healthy. They have no Trey Lyles, who, yes, has been averaging 19 minutes per game. He's been averaging 7 points, shooting 37% from three. They have no Sasha, who's an older rookie who's very solid overseas, who's been averaging around 11 points per game or 11 minutes per game, been a solid off guard who could shoot the basketball. But compared to us, no Randall, OG's clearly not 100%, no Mitchell Robinson. And the way we played out there, you just got to be extremely proud of this team. I didn't think we were going to be able to keep up with this team offensively. We were going to have to bring it like an elite level of defense, and the New York Knicks did that. I had concerns with Hartenstein this game because I was still thinking like Hartenstein still may not be 100%. Does he have that lift? And I got my answer a couple minutes into this game when Keegan Murray tried to dunk on Hartenstein, and dude looked fully 100%, 4 blocks. His defense, especially in the second half, amazing. Sabonis has 17 points in the first half. You know how many points he scores in the second half? Just 4. And all 4 of those points came in the third quarter. Yes, he had 0 points when he came in the fourth quarter. Hartenstein brought a whole level of physicality, a whole other level. Rebounding the ball, positioning, fighting for defensive positioning, offensively bullying Sabonis for a huge bucket when it came to the second half in the fourth quarter. He was amazing in this game. And this was just honestly a beautiful game to watch. Not just from seeing the Knicks get a result and how we're not that far back from the Cavs having a 42-25 record actually. And if we go on a little bit of a run, is there a potential debate? The Knicks make that third seed, should Brunson win MVP? In my opinion, he should already be an MVP candidate with how many injuries we have sustained or have occurred, and we're still a top 5 seed. That is extremely, extremely impressive. But I wasn't yelling at my TV screen in this game. I wasn't yelling at the officials thinking they could hear me. I wasn't yelling at the players that's a late rotation. What are you doing? Communicate better out there. Play harder, even though I'm never saying play harder because I feel the Knicks always bring their A game when it comes to effort. But I just really didn't have any complaints because they were letting them play. This was a physical defensive game. Not a lot of points were being scored in the first quarter. The transition defense, stopping teams in transition for both teams, the Kings and the Knicks. Transition defense, amazing. The deflections, the way they were clogging lanes, not allowing easy entry passes. And you look at the comparisons, though, offensively, big time difference. The Knicks were up a few after that first quarter. And one of the keys is Sabonis was getting buckets. This dude's patience offensively, unbelievable. Not named an all-star, I don't know how. This dude's been playing like an all-star all season. He's been playing like a superstar since all-star break, averaging a triple-double. Unbelievable player. His ability to get his teammates involved. But did he get his teammates involved in this game? No. Did he have more than 10 rebounds? Yes. Did he have more than 20 points? Yes. But he didn't score when it mattered, and he didn't get others involved when it mattered. Sabonis is that key of getting that engine running, and he got his engine running, but not the whole team's. He didn't get the whole van running. He scored and produced 13 points of their 19 or 21 points. You look at the Knicks, Brunson was responding. We had 5 points in the first quarter, letting the game come to him. Nice mid-range jumper over De'Aaron Fox. Nice methodical drive to the basket. But you had Josh Hart that was getting to the basket. or drawing fouls, using his physicality, using his strength. OG Anunoby's only points of the game, he just clearly looks rusty, still needs to get healthy, even though he still brought it defensively, made some high IQ plays, throwing it ahead to Dante off of a miss, finding Hartenstein inside. He had a dunk, not a good closeout by Harrison Barnes, was able to throw it down, but Dante DiVincenzo knocked down a three. Hartenstein had a bucket. So the difference was Sabonis was getting buckets, but others weren't consistently getting involved. Well, pretty much a lot of players were getting involved for the Knicks. So it was definitely a collective effort. So you have the defense on top of moving the ball, getting everyone involved. And this wasn't a high field goal percentage game. So if you had a 6-point lead in this game, it was really equivalent to like a 12-point lead because there wasn't an extreme level of high shot making, at least at the beginning of this game or in the first half or both halves, because only one player had elite shot making, and that's Jalen Brunson. That was the issue for the Kings. Dante DiVincenzo kept in check efficiency-wise, scoring the ball. OG Anunoby, Hartenstein, not a big-time offensive player. Burks in the first half, he had a couple buckets when he came in, knocked down a couple threes, which was big time. But Bogdanovich didn't have it going in the first half. Everyone was kept in check there. You notice I said offensively. But except Jalen Brunson had 22 points in the first half. They couldn't slow him down. Davion Mitchell doesn't matter. De'Aaron Fox doesn't matter. It just didn't matter who they threw on Jalen Brunson. Keon Ellis, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Very cool story. I liked what I saw from him in the summer league, but he was cooking them. How about that move in the first half? Davion Mitchell on him, one-on-one situation, insane crossover spin move, knocking down that mid-range shot. One of the smoothest shots I saw him make this season. Dude was so smooth this entire game. He went off in that second quarter. Just absolutely went off. He had a 7-0 run by himself, but that actually flipped because then not too long after they got back in this game because Josh Hart flagrant, foul, Keegan Murray, couple free throws, and then the New York Knicks didn't execute offensively, and then on the other end, I believe they ended up knocking down a three. So just like that, just a huge swing when it looked like the Knicks were starting to just really pour it on. So the Knicks never ran away with this one because outside of Brunson, there wasn't a consistent level of shot making. The defense, amazing. The communication. And you could say the same thing for the Kings because as great of a start Sabonis had, he wasn't getting others involved. And up until the point that Huerter stopped playing, he had 0 points. De'Aaron Fox was not very efficient. He got to the free throw line 11 times, but from the overall field, he didn't have an efficient game. So the crazy thing is, again, we're slowing down their best players, when it matters most in the second half. Monk got his, but he could only do so much. Davion Mitchell isn't a big-time offensive player. They're missing that big-time floor spacer who's a taller guy, Trey Lyles, who brings some versatility. They're missing that extra engine that can score the basketball. Wow. Even though we weren't scoring at a very high clip, Brunson was. Brunson had another 40-point game. He had 42 points and an extremely great efficiency, and he was making threes this time. And he only took 4 free throws, making 3 of them. His shot making was just unbelievable in this game. The spin move, getting to the basket in the second half, just the way this dude finishes through contact, he probably should have got more free throws, but just from all 3 levels, they just had no answer. It was just actually ridiculous, the efficiency. I believe he shot 17 of 28 from the field, and second straight 40-point game. There's only a few other Knicks that have done that, strung together 2 straight 40-point games in a row. Patrick Ewing, Bernard King, and Carmelo Anthony. But I also want to give credit here because this was very close throughout. But again, it was going to come down to who was going to make the big-time shots. And it wasn't just Brunson. It wasn't just his offense. It was Hartenstein. It was Precious. Even though Precious got bullied early on in this game, he was swiping down at the ball. He made some big-time plays defensively. Just Josh Hart flying in for rebounds like a beast. We already know his versatility defensively, being able to push the pace. But Bogdanovich, who was struggling throughout this game, he went on a nice run by himself. He had some big-time moments. He had a deep 3 at the top of the key. Did a good job driving to the basket and protecting the ball. Had another strong physical finish. Hartenstein had a strong physical finish in the paint as well. Burks got to the mid-range, knocked down a mid-range jumper, drove strong to the basket. If it wasn't for Burks and Bogdanovich, we may have potentially lost this game. But again, the defense was just that top notch down the stretch. They weren't getting any buckets. We were forcing them into such tough shots, just deflections, loose balls. We probably could have had even more steals. But again, we held this team to 35% shooting. We held them to 91 points. This is a team that averages 118 points per game. You got to be very impressed with the way the New York Knicks played. They played with so much heart. They played with so much tenacity throughout this game. As to really put this into context, Jalen Brunson outscored Sabonis and Fox combined. Brunson 42 points, Sabonis and Fox a combined 41 points. Brunson just continues to show that he's a superstar. We take on the Warriors next. Just how about that move in the fourth quarter? It's just winding down. Jalen Brunson's coming off of screens, knocking down huge threes. But the play we got to talk about is on Keon Ellis. Keon Ellis thought a screen was coming at first, right? He's looking around because Brunson likes to call for those screens and then fake off the screen. So Keon Ellis is already looking around. So then Jalen Brunson pretends like Hartenstein, come here. He fakes a screen and Keon Ellis looks to the side for a split second thinking it's coming, looking out for the screen. And this is the crucial part of the game here to really put it away. And then Jalen Brunson goes right to the basket, blows right by him, just embarrasses him. Keon Ellis' face is like, what the heck happened? And Brunson clutch floater. This dude is just clutch as shit, man. So freaking clutch. And I love this team. Hopefully OG is better next game and he gets the rust off and he feels a little better. But Tom Thibodeau said it's normal. OG said it's normal. The doctors and all that. But the Knicks won against the Kings, who have a really good record. They're just not as high in the standings because the West is so stacked. Let me know down below your thoughts. Great win by the Knicks. Peace out, y'all.